Yay.
We are live. Hello, I'm here with Daniella Monet. Oh, is that how you say your last name? I didn't even ask you.
Yeah.
Monet.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it.
Exactly.
Is it French?
It is French, but actually, like you mentioned earlier, I'm half Italian, and then my dad's side is Croatian and Chilean.
Really? That's a
Yeah.
cool
A
combination.
little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's what makes your eyes and all that so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
still have makeup on from today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to take it off because
Don't.
we
It
got
looks
work to
good.
do tonight.
Yes, you're all good. You good. You could have come in your pajamas. Sometimes we do that.
That's
Sometimes we have
fun.
like a little pajama party. We
Love
do,
that.
honestly. We're laid back here. I
I
actually
appreciate that.
I have a partner, she happens to hop on and stuff with me, and sometimes we co-host and sometimes we can't because she has a demanding job and she works from home, so she can't. She's been
Yeah.
abroad, so she's just coming back into the US and getting herself
Fancy.
together. Everyone's over here saying hi. Hi, everybody. We got Cindy, just real quick, just to give everyone a
Oh, I
moment.
see people now. Okay. Yeah. I see the
Yeah.
comments.
Yes.
Hi.
And oh, Jan is here. Good evening, one and all.
Hi.
And Arlene is here. She's telling us that she's doing well because she had some surgery. So everyone
Oh,
is praying for her.
good. I'm so glad she's doing well.
Martha's here. Martha is going to actually get to go to the Christmas con that they're having in Kansas City. Do you know which one I mean?
I've heard about this. I almost went to the last one that was like the tour bus on the
Yes.
East Coast.
Yes. Wow. Well, maybe one time you'll be there. You don't
No,
know.
yeah, I know. I was invited to be there and there was a conflict and I wanted to so badly have my first like Hallmark con experience.
Yes. Yes.
So now I'm like, okay, next one.
You'll get it, you'll get it, and
Yeah.
it's perfect place because it's gonna be cold. That's the other thing, I can't go because I have union stuff I have to do, and it would
Mm.
be cutting it too close, and I was like, "What if I get snowed in even one day? I don't have a one-day breather," you know, so
Yeah, I
one day I'll
understand.
do it, but I'll do
What?
it
Oh
one
yeah, I get that.
day. Alright, so
Hi,
we'd like
Jennifer.
to get to know
Hi,
you a little bit. You
Joey.
saying hi to
Yeah.
everyone? Alright, go ahead.
I
Um,
was just seeing their names.
I know. Julie, she's saying hi to you. She
Hi.
says loved you in the movie. That's what
Oh,
Julie said.
yay.
And Martha's saying you were so funny in the movie, and you
Oh,
were. You were
so
so
glad.
good. Before we get started, though, let me tell you a little piece of like I like a trivia statistic person. You might already know this. I've been logging into Nielsen and looking at the ratings because
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know this. I can't wait
okay.
to hear.
So now don't be alarmed because usually we're used to things being like 2 point something or whatever, but it's Christmas time. So there's a lot. It's being flooded,
Yeah.
homework. So this is good. So for the first 2 weeks, Crashers was number 1 with a 1.55. But what happened was this past weekend, Nikki Deloche came out with
Yeah,
Warren
I saw
Beatty,
that.
and that bumped it out of its spot to number 2. And theirs was
Yeah.
1.89. So yours is 1.55. And then coming right under it with a 1.53, they had a crazy weekend on Hallmark. Was It was so cute. It was called the Holiday Mix Up or Matchup. It
Okay.
was cute. And, so I'm like, "Yes, I've been keeping it." So out of the 9 movies for
Uh-huh.
Hallmark, you are number 2.
Yay! I love hearing that. That's really cool since it's like my first.
Excellent. I know, and we loved it. We just people can't, like, talk enough about it. So, let's get to know you a little bit. So, let our your fans that are all here, can you kinda, like, give us, like, just as much as you wanna share, like, how you even what your acting journey is, and then even how you wound up with in Hallmark movies?
Oh, sure. Okay. This is a fun story. Well, I'll
Okay.
make the beginning part brief because I've been doing it for a long time. I
Yes,
was a
you
kid
have.
actor.
Yes.
And I grew up in LA. So for me, it was kind of like my friends would go to, soccer, ballet,
Mhm.
and I went and did auditions and eventually, commercials. And after doing commercials for several years, I eventually got into theatrical TV and some film, mostly TV, around probably like 12 or 13.
Wow.
I got my first series on CBS when I was 14, almost 15. It was called Listen Up with Jason Alexander and Malcolm Jamal Warner. And for context, I typically love half hour, so sitcom, family friendly,
Mhm.
silly. That's my speed. So that was a fun one because it was just that. And then kind of jumped around for a little while, and then eventually landed on Nickelodeon. And I like to think of my Nickelodeon time as kind of like a decade of just a variety of things. I know most people are probably familiar with the show I did, Victorious, but
Mhm.
prior to that, I was on Zoe 101, a little thing on iCarly. And in the midst of Victorious, I did another series for them reoccurring called The Fred Show, a couple movies, did the trilogy of the Fairly Odd Parents movies, then went on to host. So I did a lot of their carpets. And then I did a show called Paradise Run that filmed in Hawaii, and kind of did a bunch of things in the Nickelodeon sphere.
Mhm.
And then graduated out of that and did Baby Daddy on ABC Family, which was really fun. And then I eventually slowed down and started a family of my own. And that took me out of the game for 5 years intentionally. I said, you know
Right.
what? Well, the joke is, I told my manager, I said, I'm pregnant with my first. I said, in 3 weeks, you could start submitting me. And honestly, 3 weeks turned into 3 months, turned into 3 years, turned into like 5 years.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
finally said, okay, the 5 year mark, I feel like I really did my thing. Like my kids are so sweet and so awesome. And I've gotten all the good like one-on-one time with them. They're finally in school. We're not nursing anymore. Like maybe it's time for me to go back. And so I said, now I'll give you the tea. I cleared all my old team that I had for maybe 12 years. And it was like nothing personal, but
Right,
because I
right.
came from like funny, family friendly, I really am specific in the niche that I like to do. And I think it's tricky for some agents and managers to understand that like that means only that. Like truly, like I
Mhm,
don't want to do horror. I don't want to
mhm.
do, that's just not me. And so I said, I need someone who gets it, like who gets what I want to do and like loves and embraces it and has that like network.
Yeah.
And I met my now manager end of last year, Mark Schulman at Three Arts, and he had similar comps like me. Like he reps Mario Lopez and a lot of
Mhm.
people that have done this kind of world where it's like multifaceted in a sense that we do family friendly, we do funny, but we can host and we can be very commercial and whatever. So I was like, I think you're my guy. He goes, well, let's take a meeting with Hallmark and see how it goes. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I'm just going to sit at a table with Hallmark. Now, keep in mind, my mother in law, I've been with my husband now, and you can shut me up at any point, by the way, Roxanne.
No, keep going. Go. That's why you're here. Go.
I've been with my husband now for almost 13 years. And the first like 10 years, I swear she said, you need to be on Hallmark. And that is like her thing. She's one of you girlies. She loves it. So I was like, maybe one day, like when I graduate out of Nickelodeon, that feels like the proper evolution. So when I sat at this table at Hallmark, this meeting with like the best of executives and head of talent and all these things, I sat at the head of the table and I like couldn't keep my cool. Like I gushed. I was very like not chill. Usually I could walk into a meeting and, I'm like, these are the things that make me valuable. And I feel like this is a great asset, whatever. This was different. I was like, I have dreamed of being on this network. I really have. I see a future here. Like, what can I do to make this happen? And
Mhm.
within just a couple months, they sent me my first offer. And I was like ecstatic. Like it's been really exciting ever since.
Wonderful. I love that story. I had that happen to me one time, like doing this. So, Marita Grabiak, she's like a director, and she had on the whole panel. We're all together. And I have had for many years, many, many years since when he did like it was like a cop show, which would premiere first in Canada and then come to the States, Peter Mooney. And I
Oh.
thought, I'm going to keep it together. I'm going to be okay. He's the last to pop in. He's sending me messages saying, I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix this or work it. He pops in and I turn bright red. And and Marita starts laughing. And I said, I'm like so fangirling. We can't go yet. And he goes, that's such a boost for my ego. He liked it. He thought it was great.
Oh,
It took
that
me
is
forever to
cool.
get it together.
That's such a good feeling though. Like there's nothing like, I don't know, it's very full circle.
I love it. I love it. So that was a good story. And then you got to sit there like, look at me.
Well, it's funny, I've been doing this for so long, I walked out of that meeting, and even though it felt, like, energetically, like, I was paying attention to signs all day, I'm like, "I feel like that actually went well, like, something might come to fruition." I've been doing it for so long that I'm just always prepared for it to do nothing.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
like, that was in the back of my head, I kept thinking, be prepared for that to just be a good meeting that doesn't go anywhere. And
Mm.
here I am, like, sitting about to, in the midst of filming another one, and I just can't even believe it.
I love it. That's pretty. That's it. That's not pretty. That's one of my favorite stories that someone shared so far. Before we go any further, we'd like to let our guests that are here.
Yes.
They have some really cool things that they're sharing with you. Like Arlene is saying, you have the most expressive. No, this is Avis. You have the most
Mhm.
expressive eyes, and I think over here.
Thank you.
Arlene says, love your Instagram posts, especially on your
Ah,
backyard gardens. We're going to talk about your Instagram. That's like next to my thing
oh,
because you have
cool.
a really great Instagram account.
Thank you.
Look at this. Oh, Jean says you were wonderful in this movie. I loved it. We did. And Jan's so sweet. She goes, I'm so glad that you sound the crew that you found the crew that makes meets your needs. Yay.
Truly.
And here we go. We knew this was going to come up, but we can only tease a tiny bit. So
Yeah,
Martha says, are you making another movie?
I
Right, right.
am. I am. And you guys, the script is so cute.
Is it? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's so good
I
and it's
love it.
going really well. And I'm really excited because, like you guys know, some of these movies turn around quickly, right? And
Right.
so
They
this
all
one,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
this one's gonna be a quick turnaround too. So I'm like, it's nice to do something and then like in a short period of time get that gratification of it being real.
Oh, wait a minute. So it's on, like, you think it's going to air, like
Not for
premieres?
Christmas,
Okay,
but
that's fine.
soon, but
Yeah, so I
soon.
get it's not for Christmas, but all right, that's a good. Were we watching? We'll be
Yeah.
watching like a hawk. All right, all right. And okay, they're just saying how much they love you, and they're
Oh,
like,
thank you guys.
"Yay, another movie," which is so good.
By the way, this Hallmark community is, like, so special, by the way, I'm near
That's
a
fine.
train.
It's okay. I love it.
They're so special in a sense that, like, I was not expecting all the tags and posts and
Mhm.
reviews, and, like, it felt like there was this collective, like, cheer squad, behind the movie.
There was. So we made a plan. We took to Twitter or X and we had certain hashtags because we know, we did holiday crashers. I forget what the second hashtag was. And then we did it the week before to start, like that Sunday to start for that whole week. And it went viral, like not viral,
Mhm.
it trended. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then we did it again when the movie was on and it trended. So
I
I
wish I would've been on X, that would've been so cool to
I know.
see.
Wow, I know. We tag and do everything, so I'm sure if you go back or look, you're either tagged or hashtagged or
Oh, cool.
somehow you'll be able to see it in your history.
Well, thank
So,
you for doing that.
now we've got to talk about your IG account, okay? It's really different. It's like it's a foodie, like, and
Yeah.
I was
I'm
thinking
Italian,
I know.
paisan.
I know, and here's the cool thing. Some of the stuff you were saying, I was like, I wonder if when you have a few minutes of downtime, you connect it with Chris because he's very much a foodie. Did he talk to you
Oh,
about food
good
at all?
question. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if food really came up. He had his daughter and his, wife come and visit too. We connected a lot on our kids, which was really nice.
Oh, right, right. I've had the opportunity to meet his little girl last year, and she's a doll. So
Oh,
that's cute. They got to come on the set.
yeah,
Oh, did you
yeah.
have your kiddos on the set or no?
No, so they didn't come that to that one, but there was a lot of people. I mean, the Hallmark world is so small, so Lindsay also knew his wife, either they had worked together or there was
Yes,
a connection
they
there.
have.
So it was just, like, always a parent powwow. We were just
Cool.
always gushing about our kids.
Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Like about redecorating your Christmas tree. Are they
No,
doing
that too.
that? All right. So I have to get the quote right because I had typed it before, but let me read my own notes here. So you had posted a question like back when I was first going to be chatting with you, and it says, I think it was before the movie came out. So this is going to go back a few weeks, your post, and it says you want to know the secret to enjoying food like level good, right? That
Mhm.
was your question. So what is the secret to enjoying
Oh
food
my
like
gosh.
level good?
I mean, I'm being biased,
That's
so if
okay.
you
We don't
don't
care.
cook, this is no judgment, but I genuinely feel like I enjoy my food when I'm, like, making it. And tidbit about me, so when we film on location,
Mhm.
oftentimes we stay in these like longer term places where you can have a kitchen.
Oh, cool.
And there was a chance that I wasn't going to get a kitchen on this one because we're kind of in a area where there
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of options. But
Right,
they
right.
found a hotel. It was like cheaper and it had a kitchen. I said, I don't care. I need a kitchen because I love to make my food for the day and bring it to set. Or if I'm
Mhm.
not bringing my food to set, like come back to my hotel and it like grounds me. If I put on a show or a movie and I
Mhm.
cook dinner, like that is what makes it sound like taste so good because you're eating while you're doing it. Then you sit down and you eat, and then you have the pot of leftovers. And I'm like, yes, if I sit in a restaurant and I'm paying $40 for something that I'm just like, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's a treat when you don't have to do the dishes, but I thoroughly enjoy cooking.
Oh, that's sweet. That makes sense to me. I'm Italian. My mother was a chef.
Oh, wow. You get
Yes,
it.
but she was homegrown first and then a chef, and my father, which would be her mother-in-law, she was, a chef too, and so I know, but of course rooted in homegrown stuff first too, and very much Italian, so food is like
Yeah,
everything, everywhere, I don't care, "Oh, you got an A, we're gonna celebrate with food," and, "Oh, it's,"
totally.
"we woke up, what are we having for breakfast?" And everybody's always in the kitchen, we
Only the
step
kitchen.
stool, like my yeah, I know, working when they're in the kitchen when they're 5 or 4 or 3,
Yes.
whatever you got. I know,
I
that's
used to have a little shot glass at my Nona's house that she would put the sauce in to
uh-huh.
because I couldn't wait, and obviously it cooks for a long time, and I would
Mhm.
always come up to her with my little shot glass. I didn't know it was a shot glass at the time,
That's
but it was
cute.
just perfect, and I have my little spoon, and I would just taste it for, like, hours until it was ready.
I love
The best.
my niece actually learned her first sauce that she makes. We put it up because there was a beautiful Christmas movie. Oh gosh, that was with Morgana Wiley. I love her. And I think it was Bo Bridges. And it was about like dementia, losing your memory. And it was my big Italian Christmas or Christmas memories,
Mm.
and they talked about the sauce and what goes in the sauce or the gravy or whatever. So my niece makes one with butter and onions, like sauteing the onions
Mm.
in the butter with the canned tomatoes that we have. And so I put her little video up because she was very young when she did it. And that girl had like over 1,000 views in minutes. It was hilarious.
Sure.
So she already knows how to make a sauce by the time she was like 4, I think. So which is cool.
I
Start with
am, like, such a fan of that. When my kids come home from school, I always try to involve them in making dinner, and the
mhm,
other day, I had to pick up a friend's son, and
mhm.
I don't think she'd care, but she doesn't cook very often, so I said, "Come into the kitchen," and I said, "I want you to learn these 3 ingredients: garlic, onion, olive oil."
Yep.
And he just watched me, and then he smelt it, and then I made the sauce, and he was
Yep.
like, "Oh, picking it up." Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That's wonderful. So I'm going to share with you some more comments and then
Okay.
we can talk about the movie. Um, Arlene says that you really stole the show in Holiday Crashers, where your character did.
Mm.
And what was your favorite characteristic of her that you personally share? Oh, that you share too. So that's true. That's one of my questions that I wanted to ask you. She did steal the show. And
Thank
I
you.
loved that I was telling everybody because they didn't understand. Let me rephrase that. A lot of people didn't understand how credits go, like
Yeah.
how you get in the
1,
lineup.
2,
And
3. Yeah.
I said it was 2 female leads. Like it was Lindsay first, and then it was Daniela. And they're like, "Why was Chris last?" I said he really wasn't last because they have a with or an and. And I said that meant that he just had a smaller of a role. Not that he had a small role, but he's such a name that they put in. So anyway, we were just all getting a little history here. So it was really first about friendship. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, did you and Lindsay know each other prior to that? Before?
No, but we had a interesting connection.
Yes.
So when I was pregnant, I used to go to this place, that was ran by doulas that did prenatal yoga and mommy
Oh,
and me, and it
mhm,
was just a really beautiful space, and so I got
mhm.
really close with the owner of that space. Well, she was Lindsay's doula. And
Oh,
so and I'm still close with this person, and she's still a part of my life, and I often turn to her for parenting advice or just life advice. She's kind of
mhm.
a mentor, and so we had that connection right off the bat, and I was able to talk to her when I was mentioning, "Oh, I'm working with this actress." She looked at me and she goes, "You guys are gonna love each other." And I am not kidding you, like, I would tell you Or you know what? I wouldn't say anything if there
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
chemistry, but
yeah.
there was so much chemistry. Like, there was so much chemistry that we kept spitfiring, like, how do we do a spinoff? How do we do a series? Like,
Yes,
these two characters need to exist further than
we'll
this.
take it. We'll take it. We would
Aw.
love that. Oh, you people, oh, we'd love it. So your characters were amazing together, and then your character, I loved
Mhm.
because you were just a little bit of a hot mess in a good way.
Yeah.
But this is a good question. So, what
Yeah.
was your favorite characteristic of hers that you personally share with her, if there is
Um, yeah, I think I always resonate to in these sort of characters where there's like a slight delusional element, a little bit of like living in like the optimism
one?
or a
Yes,
bit of a dreamer.
yes,
The only thing that was different for Brie that was fun to play was that she was actually really rooted in this like realism of like, what do I do with my life? Like, she did
yeah,
come from, a tricky past and had some trauma. And sometimes that's a way to cope is really like covering it all up in just sunshine and cheer and
yeah.
fun and all that good stuff. So I think playing both of those two things, I think I could totally pull from, like, from either past experiences or people in my life that I know.
Hmm.
Um, and I think if I had to say what I actually directly relate to is like I love her spirit of just like silly goosing,
Hmm.
just having a good time and making the best of things.
Now, they crashed a lot of parties, and you
Yeah.
had a lot of different settings that we got to see you in. Was that one, like, studio or place that they switched, or were you at a lot of different settings? Because that gets
Yeah.
tricky, right?
We did have a lot of different settings, but the cool thing was we were filming at these enormous homes, like, out in the country. They were
Mhm.
so beautiful, and one of the homes actually was the first time they had ever had shooting there and or filming there, and it was a famous influencer interior designer, and I was taking some videos and sending it to my family, and my whole family knew who this girl was, and now I'm blanking
Oh,
out on her name, but
uh-huh.
she had, like, this infamous home that people, I guess, on the internet watched her build, so when I took video, they knew that this home existed. So in some of the circumstances, we would film in parts of her home for the party, parts of her like one of her like living rooms, like her smaller living rooms was Bree's apartment. And
Oh,
so
I
it was
love
like,
that. I
yeah,
love
like we found our way
Mhm.
around the house and made use of a lot of the rooms. But there was one location that was like someone's back warehouse type house. Like, these homes were big, and it was like almost like a workshop that they used for like events, and it had a big space. That was where we did one of the parties and the wedding at the end.
Mm. Yes, and we will talk about that wedding. And so now we're going to go with New Eyes. Now, many of us, recorded it, or we're going to get to watch it because it's on again this weekend. It's on Saturday,
Oh,
so
good to
early.
know.
So we'll get to see it with new eyes again. That's a cool thing to know because one of my favorite parts was all of it was like it was just holiday festive in every scene, every shot around wherever you even like when you were in the apartment, the two of you, and it was all white, and then there was that gorgeous tree. And here's me thinking, who has all that white in their house, by the no one with children or anybody that's eating sauce, that's for sure,
Uh-huh.
right? And then there you're all there eating that cheesy whatever. Remember that
Yes,
little fun? I know that was funny. So I just that was like it made it visually beautiful. And then your costume.
I
We have to
know.
talk about these costumes.
I know.
Did you have a favorite? I'm gonna put a little slideshow in real quick.
Oh, how fun.
Just a quick few
Oh my
things.
gosh, fun.
So look how like
I
beautiful the
know.
two of you look.
Yeah.
And we could see that you had, and Christina was saying this. She's like, Daniela gets some really fun outfits. And Lindsay was a little more, conservative,
Sure.
but both were gorgeous, like
I
gorgeous
know.
costumes. Did you get to keep anything?
You guys, I got to keep almost I don't even know if Hallmark knows this, but, like, almost anything I wanted.
Well, no, Hallmark does know that sometimes because there's just too much, and it depends
Yeah,
but when the people that you had, what are the girls called? What is their first the wardrobe girls, they
yeah.
usually do allow you to keep it because
They're so lovely.
they're
Oh,
amazing.
they're
They
amazing.
they dress everyone, and I know when it's them just
Mhm,
by looking at the costumes because
mhm.
they, like, fit you they fit you,
Oh,
and they're
yes.
gorgeous. This I
Yes.
took this one because both of these, what was
I
it?
know.
The saucy Santa or the something? What was it?
Yeah, it was Saucy Santa or Snow Princess? The
Snow
Snow Princess?
Princess, and
Yeah,
she said you get the Snow Princess.
yeah.
The lace and the detail on that. Now, here's me not even realizing there was gonna be a wedding. It was such a best kept
Yeah.
secret, and I was like, "Oh, that could be a gorgeous wedding dress," and then we saw, oh my god, we saw the wedding dress.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
this is gorgeous, her
That
little
was so cute. I did keep that one.
good, because here you are in it, and look how
Yeah.
perfect it is on you.
It's a jumper. It was so comfortable, and I loved it.
So beautiful. It was just so beautiful. And then I just took this right off of the others are things
Mm,
that Hallmark sends out to the media, but this one I took off of my TV. So it's a little distorted. How long did it
I
take to
know.
get into this?
Oh my gosh, it was the easiest thing to wear. You guys, I got
Really?
to go to a real like bridal dress shop, like proper traditional shops, like
Right.
and they let me try on absolutely anything I wanted. It was literally a fairy tale. The dresses were so beautiful. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I think I almost cried in one of the fittings. But no, they were very comfortable. It's very easy to wear, especially the two-piece, because like TMI, but there's like a built-in bra on it. Like you basically
Oh,
just put it on and it's
and you're
on you. And
done.
then they tie
Nice.
the skirt and you don't got to fuss with it. It's so nice.
And the veil, the jewelry, the
Oh
headpiece.
my gosh, I know.
And
And I got to have henna. I don't think it was seen, but like they
yes,
hennaed my arms.
yes, you could see it. And then you danced.
Oh, I know.
How long did that take to learn?
Honestly, just like a couple rehearsal days we had. In fact, we had one dance that we had rehearsed one time, and then they changed it
Oh
completely.
gosh.
And they were like, "We're gonna redo the whole thing because we want it to come over the camera, and we don't want you in one place," and whatever.
It
And
was
so
so
we
costly.
learned it, like, just a couple maybe a few days before we actually filmed it. But Jag, who played my husband, he
Yes.
was incredible, and he had so much, like, rhythm, like and he was such a cool guy just naturally, and I'm sure he's been to so many weddings. Funny story, he got married within, like, days of us wrapping. He had
What?
his actual wedding, so he was
Aw.
planning his wedding while we were, like, planning ours.
Oh gosh, that's cute. That's so cute. He was adorable, and you 2 had great chemistry. You did.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I call this the smooch fest, okay?
Oh my gosh, and
This
they cut so many.
Wait, this show I said, "With this movie, we're smooching it up in this movie." Let me show you your smooches
Okay.
because we have to tell you, and I analyze a lot of Hallmark movies, okay, for years. We get into the smooch fest, and I think the number one smoocher out of all of the men, I'm going by men,
Mhm.
is Chris McNally. And then
Ah.
number two, right close to him, is Warren Christie. Those two can smooch on camera like nobody's business. But everybody did a good job. Look at the two of you.
Well, hopefully now I'm on your radar for smooches.
Yes, yes. So I'm like, wow, it was just like we're used to getting one smooch at
I
the end.
know.
Well, this one had them all over the place where, both couples, and it was great. We loved it. It
Yeah,
was
they
just
were very sweet.
They were. It just made it there was fun, and then there was seriousness that tugged at your heart. The one line that well, it's not a line, but the one thing that got me is when Lindsay and her father, like she says
Oh,
to her father about, your embarrassment. And he's like, he played that so well. And he's like,
he was
I
so
embarrass you. And he walked away, made me cry. I'm like, oh, her dad. I just lost my dad not too long ago.
oh,
So I
I'm
was like, oh,
sorry.
I can't do
That
that.
relationship was so honestly portrayed. Like,
Yes.
they didn't pull any punches, like, it was very real.
Everything in it was very real. Now I put Chris McNally in
'Cause you
here.
have to.
No, that's not why I did it. That one, and I put this one in when we were having a review of it, and we were talking about his expressive eyes. But the drink, which I have to show you if you
Oh,
could
how
see
fun are you? Oh
it.
my
I know.
gosh.
But
You're
mine is a
adorable.
mocktail. Mine
Love
is
it.
not a cocktail.
Love it.
And it's a mocktail. Um, it's I did because you said in the movie it was a frosty beverage.
Mhm.
So it's sort of like a latte, but it's with coconut and mint tea, and it came out
Ooh, I
yeah,
love that.
The other
So I actually did, come up with this recipe for the prop department.
No.
Um, yeah, so it's actually coconut milk,
Mhm.
and then there's this thing called blue spirulina, and oftentimes you'll see it in a
Yeah.
store called, like, Blue Magique or
Know what
whatever.
it is. Yep.
Yeah, so it was just a tiny bit of that for the color,
Mhm.
and then they just sweetened it, I think, with, like, maybe agave and then put the coconut shreds on the rim.
Well, we're gonna make it then. You should have posted it, and we will be baking it because we do all that kind of crazy
Oh,
stuff.
how fun.
Now we'll tag you. Now the other funny reason why I put this in is there was a little because we analyze everything, and there's a lot of questions here. Friends, we didn't forget you. I'm gonna share all that stuff in a few minutes. But there was a little not a faux pas, I guess we'll call it a mistake with the drinks where there's a scene between with Lindsay and Chris. So she's, he has to take the drink from her and then she takes it back and he's like, I'll get one for myself. And then she's watching him across the room and he's got like a drink, in his hand, like maybe a whiskey. And
Uh-huh.
Chris McNally's a whiskey guy, by the way. So he has it in his hand. And then I'm like, okay. And then when he approaches the table, he still has it in his hand. He could have had a different drink. When he comes back, he now has this drink again. And I'm like, all right, maybe he got one on the way. And then he puts it down. And then when he holds it in his hand, it went back and forth between those.
No way.
Yes, yes. It's a
Oh,
little
good
mistake,
catch.
just a little one.
I
I
love
know,
that stuff.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm always looking out for continuity.
And it did not take away from the movie. It was just
No.
fun because we're be honest with you, I didn't even catch it because I was so interested in watching them. And then the next time I watched it, I caught it. And then people were,
Oh,
saying,
how funny. This is so different for me because there's, like, grown adults watching this, and, like, there's drinking games, and there's parties, and
yes.
there's chatter, and there's groups, and I'm like, "This is so fun."
I know. I love it. We posted stuff like with the characters and we posted recipes and all kinds of fun
Love
things
that.
just in celebration of the movie because we were really excited for it, which is so cool. So it was your first Hallmark movie, right?
Yeah, so I actually have to correct myself because I did a movie years ago, and it I think has aired on Hallmark, but it was never a Hallmark movie when I filmed it.
Okay.
Um, and that was, like, a long time ago, and so when this is my first, like, true
Hmm.
Hallmark production, Hallmark written everywhere, we
Hmm.
knew it was Hallmark.
Okay. Now, I think I went and I looked through your history and I feel like I know something like that, but I don't remember what it is, but I'll think of it later. It'll pop in my head. Go ahead.
It was like, I was a sheriff, and I get married at the end, When
Really?
Duty Calls is what it was called.
When Duty Calls.
It
Mm.
might be on, like, Mystery, I don't know, my mother-in-law said she saw it once on Hallmark, and I was like, "Really? That's
Well,
news to me."
listen, if you say it and people are here, they'll catch it in the
Yeah, you
comments.
guys tell me,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah. It was your first Christmas Hallmark movie. It was also Chris's first Christmas Hallmark movie because well, let me rephrase that. Like as a lead, he's always
Yeah.
had
Oh.
little cameos the past few years. One time he was this funny elf, and last year he was this in a reindeer suit running in a marathon because they like to pop in and do funny cameos. And he also was like a secondary type character in a one with Christopher Palaha, and it was like a while back. He was really young, like he had this little baby face.
Aw.
So this was like a big moment for us. We were
Wow.
waiting for all these, all these wonderful things to happen.
But you guys
Lindsay,
know he's a leading man.
we know. And Lindsay's like a pro, so she's been in many.
Lindsay is incredible. I was watching the movie and, like, when you get pulled, well, you probably feel this all the time, but, like, when you think, "Oh, this is not a movie, like, this is so real," because it feels
Mhm,
so real,
mhm,
Lindsay brings that.
mhm,
It's so good. She's
mhm.
flawless.
I always say that's like authentic acting. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it's real, which I love it.
Yes.
You get sucked in. Oh my goodness. Before we answer questions, I have a question for you. Did you have any like positive challenges? Like something that you were like, ooh, and then, but it was a good ooh.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I've never had well, a few things. Obviously, the choreography was exciting and new because 'cause I've
Mhm,
never really had to do anything to that extent.
mhm.
All of this was new for me because so I took the 5 years off, and prior to that, I only had a stint in, like, playing my age. I had always played younger on Nickelodeon.
Okay.
So, for me, playing an adult with, like, real adult feelings with, a relationship and the just juggling work and friendship, all this was really fun, and I absolutely loved the moment where Jag's character and I are sitting in front of the fire pit, and I'm talking about, like my background, my family,
Sure.
my mom,
Mhm,
and I like would love to like expand on that scene and play more of that grounded, fun, like that not necessarily fun, but like that more grounded, real side because oftentimes I do get booked for these like more comedic relief
mhm.
roles. So yeah, it's and now I'm getting to do that.
I that's a good thing. That's a good
Yeah.
thing, and I love how it was written because all the different things were peppered in. So it was some things were funny, silly, and then some things
Yeah.
really heartwarming and touching. So this had like all the feels, which I
Yeah, for
think
sure.
was we loved it, and the costumes and the setting and the great acting and all the smooches.
Yeah, it was really all the things, and it was so aesthetically beautiful. I watched the movie, and I was messaging our producer at the same time, who funny story, she said to me when I talked to her before we went to go film, she goes, "I've been trying to get this movie made for, like, 5 to 6 years." And so, I was really happy for her, which is why I posted that rap, and I was like, "Well, you made the movie," and I was, like, so pumped for her because I know that
Mhm.
this has been, like, a journey, and it has everything, a little bit of everything.
Nice. That's a nice story. All right, let's dive into some of these things, these comments and things. Cindy wants to know, do you have a specialty dish that you make?
Oh my
Like a
goodness.
go-to, you know?
Mm,
Mhm.
this time of year, I love soups, and I grew up eating a lot of lentil soup, so I like lentil soup. And oftentimes it's never one thing. It's like I'm making lentil soup with a salad, with some rice, or whatever. So I kind of am always in the Mediterranean lane.
Do you ever put carrot in your lentil soup?
Of course,
Yes. Okay, we do too. I didn't know.
carrot, tomato.
So
Yeah,
good.
I play around.
With it. Oh, you do. We sometimes saute spinach and we put it in
Oh
there.
yes.
It's so good. And you get it's just I mean, it's like the kids will eat it for breakfast kind of.
Oh, you have my kind of kids. I was that kid.
They love it. Now, Jen saying, your comment about, and this was from when we first started, your comment about feeling like a family is great. So many non-Hallmark movies have a one and done cast that doesn't see each other again for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that that's not the case. Like, I really feel like we had something so special. And I don't know if I'm biased because it was like my first movie back, my
Sure.
first job back,
Mhm.
but there was something so special, truly.
Mhm.
Like, we had the best chemistry across the board. We all had so much fun. I fell in love with Lindsay. So
Mhm.
I feel really lucky.
Mm. So then you're gonna do it again. That
I
happens.
mean, that's
We
we're gonna try.
Yeah, no, it happens. We see, like, duos in all kinds of movies, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll root for you. We'll put that out there. When we like this weekend, we could put that in there, like this, put the duo again, or we'll come up with a cute hashtag.
I love it. You
And
guys write it.
The Hallmark, well, no, but Hallmark listens. Oh, I got
I know, I'm
coconut
gonna
on my
let
lip.
you know, but then I'm like, "She's gonna find it."
I found it. Thank you. All right. Now, Jan also said that she made a comment about getting the kiddos in the kitchen and
Oh,
cooking
yeah.
is a good thing. So this I was thinking of this, Jennifer. Jennifer says, so that's where the doula came in. Love that scene between Brie and Tony. Did you put it in, or was that always one of her?
No, it was in the script, but when we were doing the improv for those montage bits,
Mm-hmm.
she literally did the thing that we would do in our classes where our doula would be like, pick the apples. Because our doula used to say, you're going to be looking down and you're going to be hunched over holding a baby for so
Mm-hmm.
long. Like,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you stand up and you pick the apples. And so, I don't know if it's in one of the scenes or not, but she was like, I did the thing, Daniella. I had him picking the apples. Like, no one's going to know what you're doing, Lindsay, but I love it.
Oh no, it's fun. The whole thing was fun. All those crazy jobs were really funny.
I know.
Um, and Martha has a good question. Would you ever crash a party for real?
I've thought about this because I hear about this all the time where people crash weddings. I'm terrified. Like I am I might have like good game on TV, but like in real life, I am the first person like to bed in my room or home. Like I am not going to be all night crashing someone else's wedding, but the idea of it sounds so fun.
It does. It does. I've never crashed anything either. I don't know. I don't
No,
know. Like, I have a big family, but we would know if
for
somebody
sure you would.
we'd be like, what? Who? You know,
It's
like
like
what?
enough to get me out of my house. Like I need an invitation with my full name on it and maybe
Mhm.
even a follow-up, are you coming to get me to be there?
Arlene says, did you really drive that van, and can you drive a stick?
Okay, yes, I did, and it was not easy, and I didn't know how to drive a stick, and I figured it out. But yeah, no, not easy.
That was funny. There was a lot of things that were funny. Now,
And it
did
had
you?
the worst smell. Like if you were around that car when it was
Yeah.
on, you would feel like you needed to like go to the green pastures for 2 hours just to
Really?
detox.
Now, was this filmed in the winter? Because it looked very
It
cold and
was
chilly.
filmed in like March, April.
Okay, so when they had those backwards backyard scenes with the pit and all of that, was it really cold or
It
was
was
it?
actually kind of cold, yeah,
Yeah,
but not too bad.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's a good thing. It's better than when you have like, 100-degree weather and you got boots and coats and jackets and
totally.
you need like an air brake or something.
Yes.
All right, Jean. Hi, Jean. She says, I love the Christmas tree that the two of you were decorating in your apartment. That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Yes.
Set
And
deck was really good.
gorgeous. It was all good. It was, I mean, everything was like eye candy for us.
Mhm.
Um, Christina says, love the white dress.
That was a fun one, yeah.
And 2015, it was made in 2015.
Oh, When Duty Calls. Probably, that makes sense,
Oh,
yeah. Wow, almost 10 years ago.
she's helping us. And then
Mhm.
Rocky Mountain Christmas was the older movie with Chris, and he
Oh,
had like a smaller part in it. He was the brother
okay.
of the lead, and it was good. He wore a cowboy hat.
Oh, cute, love that.
And Arlene wants to know, would you do a time period series like When Calls the Heart?
I would okay, for the longest time, I would probably say, like, it's not, like, my first thing on my list,
Yes.
but now that I'm older and
Oh,
I'm in my next chapter of work
yes,
and I'm not
yes,
playing a child anymore,
yes.
yeah, I'm at the point where the nice thing about Hallmark is that you really do get to play, and things move so quickly. So, like, if you're lucky enough to do a few movies with them, you can kind of be someone new in a short period of
Mhm.
time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm totally up for something like that.
All right. Cool. I love it. Now, Joanne she has some kind of suggestion here. She's like, you should be the new love interest for Lucas in When Calls the Heart. That's Chris's
I'm
part.
making a call. I'm making a call.
They would have great chemistry. Would you do a series?
Yes, of course. Okay, so on my bucket list when I said I was going to come back to work, I
Uh-huh.
told my now manager, I said, "Listen, this is going to sound crazy because you're talking to a girl who didn't work for a long time and like I'm just throwing it out there, but I am an optimist and I'm about manifesting. So, I would like to do 2 movies this year and get a TV show." Because I come from series, like I like being on a series. And I got the 2 movies, and I'm certainly in talks for a TV show, which is wild that I'm even saying that. But yeah, it's been so exciting to be back because at this point in my life, like I do have 2 kids. I am really intentional about what I'm gonna do.
Sure.
Everything has a different weight, a different meaning.
Mhm.
And because I know it's my time away to work, like I'm being really, like I said, like intentional, mindful about like the energy I'm putting into it. And I'm trying to just enjoy every second. So,
Good.
yes
That's
to a
good.
series.
Oh, that's a good way to end our little chat here.
Yeah.
There are some really good series on Hallmark Plus.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard that they're doing more series.
Oh my God. They are doing Mistletoe Murders and Peter
I
Moon.
just heard about that. Sarah Drew.
Delicious. Peter Mooney is in there.
Oh my
He's like,
gosh.
here's me. What? Oh, I was all excited. And then they have Chicken Sisters. Oh my, listen to me. The writing, I met the author of the book, and she was adorable. And then we talked, and she was so excited about the series. And when the series came out, every episode I'd say the next one was better, the next one. That's a really good show. And we love, now this isn't on Hallmark Plus. We love The Way Home. And of course we love One Calls to Heart. So you've got options.
I've got options,
And
but
maybe
what
something
would
new.
you guys think about like more of a sitcom style show?
We would love that too, because we need it. We need
Yeah,
that.
there isn't anything. And I
Yeah.
know that like Hallmark audience has a sense of humor. There's always a tone of levity in a lot of the scripts that I'm seeing, at least, or the movies I'm watching. So I feel like maybe we can lean into it a little bit and see. I don't know.
Let's do it. We would love it.
With your
We would love
approval.
it. We would love it. We would love it. Oh, Martha says she loves Mistletoe Murders. It is so good. I don't know if the second episode dropped or not. I'm hoping it did, because I have my house, my housekeeper's coming tomorrow to clean everything. So everything is in its place. So I just have to go take a shower, get my jammies, and I'm like, I want to see if the next episode is.
That's the best feeling when you
It's
know
it.
you have a show that's like queued up and waiting for
Yep,
you, and you're
yep,
like, let me just get my teeth brushed. I'll be
yep.
right there.
Oh, yay. Martha says tonight. Oh, I'm going to see it. Oh, I
How
can't wait.
fun. All right, maybe I'll check it out because I've now heard her on 2 podcasts that I listen to, and she's a doll, and I feel like I need to see it to see her.
It's really good. And one of the things that I really like about it is that there's a little bit of a mystery of who she really is. So
Mm,
as the story unfolds, you're kind of getting flashbacks of her too. So the whole thing is just really, really good. And Arlene is agreeing. We agree. So when we
yeah.
agree, they become our best friends for this moment right now. So Arlene is the BFF. I always say that. Yes, we would love a family comedy for Hallmark. We would. It needs to be.
I
We're
think
just saying.
so. I think why not?
Yes, we are just saying it. Oh, this was so lovely that you took your time out of your day. We talked for 46 minutes.
I know, thank you. This was such a nice way to spend my evening. I looked
Good.
forward to it today. When we wrapped, I was like, "Oh, I get to go home and like chat about all the good, funny, like cozy stuff."
Yeah, that's good. We loved it too. We love it, love it, love it. All
Good.
right, we can say goodbye to everyone, and then we'll say goodbye when I end the stream real quick. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So they're saying, please come back. That's what
Bye.
Martha said. Please come
Happy
back.
to. I hope I have more to chat about soon. Oh, thank you
Yes.
guys so much. It really means a lot to me to have your guys' support. It
Yes.
really does.
Look there. We love you. Awesome
Thank
meeting you.
you.
Good night, everyone.
Awesome.